Hey Gemini, it's Dr. Leona coming in for your full moon May 2025 reading. It is the flower moon, guys. That full moon energy coming in with Libra, and that is in sidereal astrology. It's in a lunar mansion called Visakha in Vedic astrology, and that is just having that in your charts of wealth-giving yoga. If you want to know if you happen to, it's my granddaughter's moon, guys. So if you want to know if you have that moon, and if you have that, any of that energy that brings in wealth, that brings in new contracts, come on over to Patreon. That's where you can see this extended and any of my extendeds here on YouTube, guys. So thanks for your support, of course. As always, love having you here. And I try to give back as much as I can. So we also support Elephant Aid International. All of the proceeds from Patreon go to that refuge through EAI, and it was featured on 60 Minutes, so it's a legitimate, real deal thing, and we absolutely do extra things. And I post whenever I do extra things there on Patreon. I'm doing a giveaway right now of these really cool stickers that say "Not enough sage for this." You know what? It's really cool. I totally bought out this local creator who does a lot of like spiritual stuff. So I try to help local businesses, small businesses as well. Come on over to Patreon, guys. It is a good time, and it's 10-10, 11-11, or 12-12. To get that free personal reading, you want to come in at the 12-12 or the VIP for very important planets, and I will do your Vedic astrology chart and a consultation, and the one question personal reading will be in 1 hour-long video for you. And you will just be like, wow, it's all about you, okay? On my channel, it's all about you. Let's go, guys. Gemini, I do see this energy of needing to protect yourself here from finances. Are you worried about not making enough money here? I think we all always worry about that, right? But there's some energy here trying to protect yourself from lack. It could be affecting your health as well. All right, Gemini, let's get into it. 6 of Swords. 5 to 6 is positive. It's at least a energy here of flow. We have the 9 here, and 5 and 6 together become an 11. So I'm seeing 9-11 could be a factor, something that happened, you know, in the early part of the 20th century might be connected to some aspect. Someone here could have been even born on either November 9th or September 11th here. Okay, so I know you're like, how if I'm a Gemini, how would that be the case? Well, Gemini, you could be a Gemini Ascendant, you could be a Gemini Moon, not just Gemini Sun. And Gemini Suns don't happen when you think they do. In Vedic astrology, it's one back from tropical, about 24-degree difference, because tropical is based on sun sign. You know, you're one sign. Here, you're really not one sign in Vedic astrology and sidereal. You're all things. And I know that's hard for people to like, they want to just be the sun. You want to be the center of your own universe, right? And you should be, but that's, Vedic astrology takes all of it into account. It's a science, actually. It's based on engineering and mathematics, and a lot of it is the basis for the astrophysics that we use today to better understand the universe. I know it's just brown-skinned people came up with it, so Western or tropical astrology kind of ignored it for a long time. No more, no more. All right, guys, we do see this energy coming in, lack, trying to escape this sense of poverty and feeling like you have to protect yourself all the time. Recognizing that maybe you have more choices, and some of you are about to level up with your career, and that's interesting energy. We do have Pluto retrograde there, so Pluto is moving back through Capricorn. Yeah, so you might be getting some new opportunities. It kind of increases the energy of like another company or somebody coming in and saying to you, hey, we want to hire you. And this is definitely your energy, Queen of Swords. So you are an air sign, but you're a mutable sign. You're the water of air, my beautiful gems. You're one of 4 twin signs in the zodiac: Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. You may get along with all those folks because I know one of my favorite Patreon soul family members, definitely soul sister, I've known her in other lifetimes. She is family in every way, shape, and form. She is a Gemini ascendant, and she definitely matches my Sagittarius placements because Gemini and Sag are on the same destiny track. That destiny track won't be activated until February 24th of 2028. That's when that begins. That's when the nodes of destiny will be moving into Gemini and Sagittarius. It will be Ketu, the south node, moving into Gemini. So just mark that on your little calendar there, Gemini ascendants out there, Gemini suns, Gemini moons, because you're going to have something happen between 2028 and 2030. That's a prediction you can take to the bank. All right, what will happen? I really don't know. It depends on your individual placements. And if you come to Patreon as a VIP, I can actually help you with that. We can prepare you for that. Prepare you for, like, I just worked with a client from Patreon who I saw could actually work through all their karmic debt in the next 5 years. Like, they can wrap it all up. And if you have the knowledge base, you can absolutely do this. So let's do it together. Let's make your life better together, guys. I love you so much. Now, I am seeing this energy, the Femme Mulan energy, I call it, with that Queen of Swords and the Lovers. Having to make this really big decision, having to make a decision based on logic, not on emotions, making that permanent choice through your intellect, intellectual energy here. Having to do with your mind and emotions. Very clear thinking here, and you know that you have choices. So you will be ending something coming up here, Gemini. Even if you aren't thinking right now, you will be. Some of you know you have to either end a job or a toxic connection, maybe both for some of you. And with this new moon or full moon energy, now there is a new moon coming up on the 26th of May. I'm going to talk to you about that in just a minute, but the full moon energy is really going to be bringing in new contracts, new wealth-giving contracts. You might be heading in that direction towards those wealth-giving contracts. And 2 weeks after this full moon, there's the new moon, and the moon is exalted in what? Yes, in Taurus. That's your neighbor, Gemini. And so when we see that energy there of the moon in Taurus, we will also have, what else will be in Taurus that day will be the sun. Right now, the sun is in Aries, and the light that full moon is reflecting back to us is from an exalted sun in Aries. Now, that's actually the constellation that's closest to the sun right now. When I'm talking about this, I come at it also not just from Vedic astrology. I'm not looking at it really from astrology in that way. I know the mythology is connected there, and I know the literature, 15,000 years worth of literature, guys, that shows observations of human behavior and outcomes over a human lifespan, what the outcomes were for certain placements, certain signs, and it's a constant learning. There's never an end to that learning. But I also, you see, have a telescope. Can you see it? Oh, I see my camera's falling a little bit. There's that telescope, guys. It's a legit telescope. It's from India. And I don't know if it will stay up there. Probably not. But I got it. It's 144 years old. And this year, 2025, was the Mahakumbh Mele. It was the beginning of a 144-year cycle, guys. It was an anniversary of a 12th cycle of 12 cycles for Saturn. Saturn going into the 12th house. So 12 cycles of Saturn going into the 12th house. Yes, it's a big deal. Big deal. People, millions of people from all over the world went to India between January and February 26th just for this celebration. February 26th being Mahasivaratri. Om Namah Shivaya. That's that space of, Vedic astrology, 8th house energy, Siva or Shiva. So that's the death card here coming in. We've got Cancer coming on either side of Scorpio. So I think someone here could be a Sagittarius ascendant possibly, or knows somebody who's a Sagittarius ascendant, or Cancer is in the 8th house. All right, so that's something coming through here. Someone also could have a Gemini moon in this collective. I'm also seeing a Capricorn moon. And I also see somebody here that has Capricorn in the 8th house. All right, so that would be you as a Gemini ascendant here, guys. Alrighty, there is an Emperor, there's the energy of movement. Somebody here knows that they need to move on. Somebody knows that they need to go out into the world and find something new. This Six of Swords connected with the Chariot is an energy of movement, of escape, and moving away from something. For some of you, the Devil and the Death card, some of you may have lost a father here in the past, and I'm seeing that it's possible to, today is Mother's Day, and it's a sad day for me, actually. It might be a sad day for you as well. Of course, I wish everybody who has ever nurtured anyone, so I don't care if you're male or female, if you had babies come out of your body or not, that doesn't matter at all. Right? You've probably mothered a lot of people. I remember one of the folks that I definitely see as a mother role model is someone that never had any children themselves. They just kind of adopted me sort of as soul family, right? And so gave me amazing advice, great advice that I didn't take, but I should have. I wish I had. So there's sort of an energy here. I think someone here has lost their father. Someone could be worried about losing their mother, or you may have recently lost a mother as well, or that could be coming in, guys, in the next 18 months to the next 3 years, 18 months to 3 years. Some of you know if your mom is older, that's what I'm talking about. You're not going to lose your mother if you're like 25 and she's 45. Okay, that's not happening, guys. All right, this is for somebody that that has a mom that's older. You know, I'd say, you know, could be even 80s, close to 80 or 80s. They're older. They're at an advanced age when you would expect that to happen. So don't get worried about that. Okay, I never want you to have fear about that. I do see somebody feeling a lot of regret, 5 of Coins and 5 of Cups, because somebody might have cleaned you out. I'm seeing financial abuse here coming through now, and you might have deep regrets about that. Someone here is trying to escape this poverty energy coming in with the Chariot and the 6 of Swords and the Death card. It's like you need to end something to have more choices. So Gemini, I'm not sure what's going on for you, but I'm sending you so much love and light because I'm seeing a bunch of bullshit here is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing someone has put up with a lot of BS. All right, so no more putting up with that. All right, I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm a therapist, and within that space, this is not professional advice, but of course it's coming from a professional experience. However, this is a channel for entertainment and education. So I guess this is part of the education part, right? And you should always talk to a therapist or a neutral mental health professional about things like this. But the 6 of Cups is here, and it's attached to this 5 of Coins and 5 of Cups, as well as the 9 of Wands. So someone here is very, very guarded. Someone here is always worried about being less than or having less. Someone here always feels like they got so many regrets. You know, they make a lot of mistakes. They feel like that about themselves, or the mistakes of their past are kind of like keeping them in the space right here when you should be moving on, you know, to other things, ending things that, you know, make you feel like you don't have choices when you do. And when we're talking about relationships, because I think that there's an undercurrent here connected to a relationship where there's been a lot of lack, possibly financial abuse, where you've had to protect yourself from that maybe. Something here about that coming through is really unfortunate energy. I don't like it. And I will say this, with this 3 of Cups, there's also probably been third parties involved in that same relationship. So there's been lack. So this relationship that I'm seeing here for my Geminis, I'm not seeing much going on here for you. I'm seeing a lot of lack. I'm seeing financial abuse. I'm seeing regrets. I'm seeing how your past, your childhood could have affected that, how your sense of need to protect yourself might have meant ending a marriage and moving on to another relationship that you thought was better or different, when in fact it really wasn't good at all. Like at all. It wasn't working for you at all. Three of Cups tells me everything I need to know. They might have even had sex with somebody in your own bed. Okay, in your home, in your bed. They may have cheated on you in a big way. You know, in a place where you lived or a place where you slept. 10 of Coins here, yeah. This is somebody coming in saying, but we're family, you know. Oh, let's not do this, we're family. Well, they're family when it's convenient for them to be family, right? But not when it, where was that sentiment when they were cheating, you know, or when they were borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, and that Peter might have been you. You know, they may have been borrowing from you to pay someone else because they didn't manage their finances properly. And this energy is what's going to lead to that death within this relationship. It could have even been borrowing from family. You may need to borrow from family as a result of this person. Like you may be put in a space where you have to start borrowing money from family members because a partner has just abused you in a way that's not very nice, you know. Without and you know, you may also think about this for a second, Gemini. You might have allowed that to happen because you needed to feel needed so badly. You know, you might have really wanted to this person in your life because you knew, you had to know. Like that's the thing. We always, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be putting my reality hat on here because part of my job is to help people separate narrative from reality. And I think that is the biggest obstacle to anybody's success in relationships, in money, in business. Creating narratives where you feel like you deserve XYZ and you've bought into the capitalist sort of constant advertising and constant showing you that you need this, this, and this. That's self-care. You spending your money is not self-care. You holding on to the money that you work really hard for, that's self-care. And when someone tells you we should go live our lives, we should go, you know, do something else, we need to leave here, we need to go live in, I don't know, like another country, let's go overseas, let's just take a month off. And what the fuck is wrong with them? I don't know, but I know there's that sense of wanting to live life and wanting to live it fully, but that's just an experience. That's just an elongated vacation. People wait until retirement to do things like that because it takes a lifetime to build up, unless you come from wealth already. But if you don't, you kind of have to wait to do stuff like that, to just go live somewhere for a month. I've done that where I've lived places for a month at a time, but I always had a job there. I was working. I didn't just pick up and move somewhere, you know? Like I put in for this program where certain parts of Europe are looking for educated people to come and, you know, educate small villages or whatever. So I put in for this program to do that, and I would absolutely go, but I would get a free place to stay. I would be given an allowance. I'd be paid, you know. I mean, that's the only way I'm doing that. Only if I have a job there am I able to do that. There's just no way that can be done any other way. And I think that someone here is very strong and is recognizing that they've gotten themselves upside down because another person that they connected their life to has kept them in a space of, you know, sort of feeling this sense of lack. I'm not going to be able to retire. I'm not going to be able to, you know, ever stop working, or I'm never going to get out of the rat race. So there's some energy like that here. And I'm going to tell you right now, Gemini, if that's you, you need to remember who you are. You are this Queen of Swords. Do you understand me? You are. Okay, that's who you are. With the Strength card here and the Knight of Coins, this is a slow recognition of who you are, of your own strength. it may take you until after 50 years old. You could be somewhere in that decade before you recognize that you have that same strength. And I'm telling you, between 2028 and 2030, something big will happen for you, my beautiful Geminis, where you're going to be separating in some way from, you're going to have the courage to detach from people that you've been blind to their bullshit. So don't worry if you, oh wow, a fish just jumped way up out of the water. Ooh, that was something big. So maybe some of you are connected to Pisces energy. Okay, wow. So guys, all right, Gemini, I see the Seven of Swords coming in with the Knight of Coins. Slow energy because someone is self-sabotaging, and it could be an Emperor who's doing that to you. That's definitely the Emperor that say, but we're family, but we're family. And I don't know if they're actually your family or if they are a partner. This person causes a lot of conflict within you. Five of Cups, a lot of sense of regret. Five of Cups, Five of Wands, and then we've got the Five of Coins here. 555 is bringing in an energy of change, guys. There's some of you are not healthy because of this Emperor who has created problems for you, okay? They also like to watch you or survey you. Oh my God, this person, ugh. Thanks, but no thanks. And then they're gonna come in and say that they love you. The person that sabotaged you, the person that's created a codependency with you, they don't love you, okay? They may say that they do, I'm fully committed to you, but they keep sabotaging you, right? Like somebody here sabotaged your stability or the foundation of your stability. I mean, like it's all coming out here, Gemini. You can't lie to me about that because I'm literally seeing it here. This is you slowly coming to that space of your own, coming into your own power, stepping into your own power, Gemini, using self-love. So the commitment has to be to yourself, okay, going forward. Stop trying to build around a person. You need to build a foundation for yourself. And I think for some of you, that's literally, you need to build a foundation. You need to build a house or buy a house, and everything in your power should be towards buying or building a house. That's the biggest and best act of self-love because that's the foundation of your financial future. If you want to retire, that's how you retire. Self-love. Buy a house, a good house in a good area with good schools. Yeah, you're going to pay higher taxes, but it will be worth more. And when you're ready to retire, if you're, let's say you're in my age group, right? So you may have 15 years before you retire. If you have 15 years before you retire, you can pay off that mortgage and then you can live in your house, or you can get senior housing at that point, which is a smaller, like a small rent, and you can rent out your house and then you can supplement your income. Or you can sell your house and put the money in an investment account, and that can supplement your income until your dying breath, right? That can, if it's not enough to cover what will be assisted living, I just recommend that you try to stay in the house as long as you can, outside of moving into senior housing, which is a smaller rent. It's an apartment, and you might, ego, we don't like that. We don't want that. But rent out the house, because I bet you rent out your house for much more than the rent of the apartment. It'll cover the rent of the apartment, and it will give you income on top of it. So like if you, let's say you get a decent 3-bedroom house or whatever, anything that's 3 bedrooms or more, and a family moves in. I don't know many 3 bedrooms in almost any state that's less than, there's some parts of Georgia where you can get it for less than $2,000 a month. I don't know how that's even possible, but that is possible in certain areas, I guess. But let's say, by the time in 15 years, whatever is $1,800 now will be $2,800, right? And your senior housing will still be less than $1,000 probably a month. So, just keep it in mind. You'll be able to earn money, and that will supplement whatever other retirement monies you have, right? So, and that's going to, you just keep renting out the house. And so when you do decide to go into assisted living, that can help you pay for that. Although a lot of times they want you to have the house and they'll take the house. So let's say you don't want them to do that. Okay. Here's what you do, Gemini. When that time comes, if you own a home, about 7 years before you figure you're gonna, like, I would say no later than age 60 or 62, put that house in the name of a trustee, the executor of your estate, whoever that will be, or make that person a trustee of a trust for your children. I wouldn't recommend putting it in your children's names because they can get greedy and nasty. And, you know, you don't want to remember them that way as vultures or jackals, as my grandmother described her own 2 children at the end of her life. She's like, it's like they're waiting for me to die, and they were. So if you don't want that energy, just put it into a trust, you know, but it has to be 7 years before you would think you would even need to go into a home. So around 60, 62, don't wait beyond that, because then you'll be a fight. All right, guys, I see this energy here of the Tower, Scorpio energy coming in, and a relationship. Something has to change. There has to be a transformation in this relationship. And it looks like some of you are headed towards marriage with a person here. I'm seeing the energy of marriage coming through. So some of you may be, there was a relationship here that definitely looks like didn't work out for you. And here in the future, I see this new thing coming in, this really good energy, big transformation happening, a relationship that leads to this space. Now, I just got a phone call on a Sunday afternoon. I tell you what, I don't want to hear from nobody. I'm not picking up. That's a no-go for me. I got a realtor who's just kept calling me, and she's just really dysregulated. I don't want to hear from her anymore. You know what I mean? She just wouldn't stop. And then, you know, it's the kind of person that says, oh, I don't care about commission. I just care about you. And then it's like, oh, no, you have to do this today or the whole thing is done. I'm like, well, but if I can't do this today, I guess the whole thing is done. And then she's like, oh yeah, well, I guess it'll be okay. You know, just pushing. I don't like that energy, right? So I like to avoid people that are creating stress. So it does look like you have something good coming in here. Now we do have that north node of the moon going into Aquarius here in about 6 days after this full moon. So I do think you're going to have some really good stuff popping up for you. But you do have to protect yourself from a person that's been a little bit too open. They may be judgmental of you or harsh towards you. They may want to marry you if they sense that you're going to be cutting them out at some point here. I think it's good to confront this person with the truth about their actions so that they understand and create boundaries with them, guys. They definitely were this Knight of Wands. And I will tell you, someone here has a new person coming in as well. It's a person you will marry, but you have to end something else first. Rituals and offerings, number 29, which becomes an 11 here, guys. So this is like the Lantern Festival. I don't know if you guys have seen those Lantern Festivals that are kind of popping up. Maybe it's time to do something like that, like a ritual like that. Go to a Lantern Festival, do something along those lines that can help you to basically write out on those little lanterns. You can write out your wishes, your dreams, your prayers, and you just float it off in the water. And then you kind of watch it. You watch it move and change positions, and it's very cathartic. and it'll take you to a space where maybe it'll help you to move on from a person or a situation or a job that's not serving you very well, Gemini. I see good things coming in for you. I see gains coming in for you, but it's going to take a minute, I think, to recognize what's going on. Some of this comes from your past or childhood. Let's go to Patreon and find out more. I'll pull you more oracle cards. We'll go Aries to Pisces and see who you're dealing with and how to best deal with them. And then we'll also get some more clarification on that Death card and the Tower, as well as the Star. We want to know how to get those gains. Okay, I love you. I'll see you soon, my beautiful gems. Gems of the Zodiac, you are a treasure. Never forget it.